you sabotage potential relationships before they have the chance to develop into anything deeper? Do you always find some reason not to continue dating someone? Maybe you've given up on dating altogether. What can you do to stop the self-sabotaging behaviour and allow yourself a chance to be part of a fulfilling relationship? Self-sabotage in dating comes in many forms. You might be the sort of person who has lots of dates and never seems to be able to find the right one or the perfect one. You may find people who are almost right for you, but then find things wrong with them before you've even got to know them properly or given them a decent chance. Maybe you manage to date someone for a while and then you hit a wall of resistance when it comes to making any further commitment. Maybe you sabotage your chances of pursuing a potentially satisfying intimate relationship because of a fear of commitment. Maybe you don't even date at all. Maybe you've closed down the idea of dating. Maybe you've given yourself excuses not to go on any dates at all and not to even give yourself a chance of finding a partner. Maybe you tell yourself and others that you love being single and that the single life is what you really want. That may be the case, and if it truly is what you want, then that's great. Some people are genuinely satisfied with a single life. But if you have a feeling deep down that you really want a life partner and to be part of a committed relationship, then maybe it's your fears that are throwing up the excuses and reasons for staying single and sabotaging your potential happiness. You may start dating with an unresolved or unrecognised fear of rejection or abandonment, or a fear of intimacy. You may think that you're ready to start dating and looking to meet the love of your life, but deep down, you might just not be ready yet. So, you go on the date and you meet the person, but they aren't right. They looked good and it all sounded hopeful when you were chatting initially, whether that was face-to-face or online, but now you start to notice things about them that you don't like. So you either end the date early or you go through with the date begrudgingly and you don't give them a second chance. If there really was something or several things about them that you couldn't tolerate, then fair enough. But what if it was your fears talking? What if your fear of intimacy, rejection, abandonment, commitment, or your low self-esteem was in control of your love life and sabotaging your chances of finding a partner who's right for you? Maybe your gut instinct told you that the person was all right, really. Maybe they were worth having at least another date with and seeing what happens and having a try. What does your gut say? Your instinctual feelings come from a deeper place than your fears. Your instinct is the voice of your authentic self. Your fears are the result of experiences that you've had and how these experiences have affected you. Maybe you were rejected and abandoned as a child and now you have a deep fear of being abandoned and rejected. Maybe you've been hurt by a relationship breakup, divorce or a bereavement before. Sabotaging a potential relationship is one way of making sure that you're not going to be rejected or abandoned again. Avoiding intimacy is one way to protect yourself from the pain of rejection and abandonment. A fear of intimacy can stem from childhood abuse and neglect. People with a fear of intimacy will often yearn for the closeness and intimacy that a satisfying romantic relationship could bring, but they're just too terrified to allow themselves to risk being truly intimate with another person. You may have become promiscuous and learnt to use casual sex as a way of having a quick fix of purely physical intimacy without the danger of anything deeper. This is another form of self-sabotage and it ruins your chances of developing a further, deeper emotional relationship. The fear of engulfment is the fear of being controlled, dominated, or losing yourself in a relationship. This can develop from being in a situation before where you were controlled or dominated or felt you couldn't be yourself in a relationship. It can also come from being dominated, controlled, or smothered by a parent or caregiver, or from growing up in an environment where you felt you weren't allowed to be yourself. If you have a fear of engulfment, you may sabotage a potential relationship by being oversensitive to any hint of control or domination from the other person. Your date might be a little assertive or take the lead, and you may take this as a red flag and put yourself off before you've even given them a chance. You may be very defensive about your independence, and you might do whatever it takes to stay independent and in charge of your own life. However, this will include sabotaging any chances of real intimacy with another person. Learning to identify and to be aware of the particular fears that are causing you to self-sabotage potential relationships is the key to change and growth. If you can recognize these fears and see them for what they are, you're able to start to listen to what you really want. It's very healthy to have fears about dating and potentially going into a new relationship. You're bound to feel vulnerable and fragile as you open yourself up to someone and start to develop trust with them. Your fears are valid and they're all right to have. In fact, it would be actually pretty unhealthy if you were to date without any fears at all. What isn't healthy is allowing these fears to sabotage your dating and to sabotage your potential to be part of a satisfying, committed relationship. I hope this video will help you to identify your own self-sabotaging behaviour when it comes to dating and what your fears are. I hope that you can start to accept and embrace your fears without letting your fears hold you back. Please subscribe to my channel, and if you like this video, please like and share it on your social media.